Hello everyone. Welcome to my bold and the beautiful news channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we dive into today's content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and show some love by giving this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, September 26, uncovered that Will Spencer will join his folks at the Spencer house, so he'll turn out to be important for the discussion about Bill Spencer and Katie Logan's future. Following Bill's visit with Liam Spencer, it appears as though still up in the air to explain where he stands with regards to a family gathering. Bill couldn't want anything more than to reunite with Katie and show up for Will as a group once more. Tragically, it will not be very that basic for Katie, so will pose his folks a lot of inquiries and can't help thinking about how they can all get in total agreement. In spite of the fact that Will has blended sentiments about Katie and Bill rejoining, some portion of him sees the potential for them to begin another part and track down Joy. In the meantime, Steffy Forrester might want to see another section for her own folks also. Since Steffy realizes the amount Edge Forrester has bobbed between Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan throughout the long term, she obviously figures he could go back and forth back to her mother. Steffy has guaranteed trust Logan that she doesn't want to play intermediary this time around. All things considered, Steffy will get under Trust's skin by behaving like there's a decent opportunity Edge and Taylor will rejoin regardless of whether she parent traps them. Trust will safeguard Brooke's relationship with Edge and behave like they're at last getting their blissful consummation. Steffy, then again, will suspect that Edge and Taylor's story isn't over at this time. Next on Thursday's B&B episode, Brooke will spy Edge with his arm around Taylor in a comfortable second. It could leave Brooke somewhat agitated as she watches from the entryway and at last interferes. Yet again, in any case, Taylor will clarify that she's not a danger to Brooke and Edge's sentiment. Truth be told, Taylor will spout over Edge's bliss with Brooke, particularly since she knows her own there's no time left. Obviously, Taylor's troubling conclusion could wind up pulling Edge back toward her once reality at last emerges. Besides, there's generally an opportunity for a lathery wonder treatment that could make a huge difference. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Taylor, Edge, and Brooke's circle of drama appears to be ready to warm up in the distance, so we'll welcome you more forecasts on their theatrics and refreshes on Edge's response to Taylor's stunning information. The bold and the beautiful spoilers recap for Wednesday, September 25, uncovers that Taylor Hayes got a text from Lee Finnegan, who encouraged her not to conceal her condition from her friends and family. Nonetheless, Taylor got over it as nothing and invested energy with Steffy Forrester after John Finnegan left for work. Steffy looked for data on Taylor's sentiments about Edge Forrester, yet Taylor maintained the emphasis on being back for Steffy and the grandchildren. Since they had such countless achievements and festivities ahead, Steffy was happy Taylor wouldn't miss any of it. Taylor had a tormented articulation as she shared her affection and gave Steffy an embrace. At Forrester Manifestations, Brooke Logan tested Trust Logan to ensure she was holding her affections for Finn within proper limits. Trust said Brooke didn't need to continue to ask and that there was not a great explanation to stress. Brooke inquired as to whether Trust made certain about that, so Edge strolled in and got on some pressure. Trust made light of it before they generally examined the fresh insight about Taylor's homecoming, which Steffy and her kids were excited about. At Bill Spencer's house, Liam Spencer pushed for affection life updates. Liam recognized that perhaps Papi Nozawa wasn't the perfect individual for Bill and contemplated whether Katie Logan realized he needed to reunite. Bill accepted Liam had been conversing with Will Spencer and proposed his most youthful child wasn't pausing his breathing for his folks get together. Liam thought Bill was holding his own breath for one, so Bill admitted that he stayed confident. Next on Wednesday's B&B episode, Will brought Katie breakfast at Forrester Manifestations, so she implied that perhaps he could find a new line of work there. Will kidded that Bill would cherish that, yet Katie simply believed him should realize there were a bigger number of choices than Spencer Distributions. If Will concluded he needed to work at Forrester, Carter Walton said Will ought to come see him about it. When Bill gathered Katie through text, she came to the Spencer Manor and got some information about. Bill said Katie ought to be confident and amped up for this, yet she saw he appeared to be somewhat keyed up. Bill eventually let Katie know that he needed to discuss the future and about what was ahead for them as a family. Back at Forrester Manifestations, Steffy came by the plan office and addressed Trust about Taylor's return. When Steffy said she won't play intermediary for Edge and Taylor, she recommended that they could go with decisions for themselves. Trust called attention to that Edge previously picked Brooke, yet Steffy raised how frequently Edge went this way and that. Steffy could recognize it easily the amount she actually cherished Edge, yet she emphasized that she wouldn't be matchmaking. All things considered, Trust inquired as to whether Steffy was saying she might want to see her folks back together. In the president's office, Taylor found Edge, who called her Steffy's directing star and felt that his ex was back home where she should have been. Taylor needed to value consistently and appeared to be morose, so Edge asked what was off base. After Taylor said they weren't getting any more youthful, she added that they didn't have the foggiest idea how long they had left. That is the reason they needed to capitalize on it, so Taylor was appreciative to be back home with her loved ones and acknowledged Edge's hug. Our expectations hint that Taylor's mystery will decimate Edge eventually, so it could prompt a heartfelt reconnection between them. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Edge and Brooke's relationship will confront a few obstacles because of Taylor and her bleak circumstance, so remain tuned. However, Taylor brushed it off as nothing and spent time with Steffy Forrester after John Finnegan left for work. Steffy fished for info on Taylor's feelings about Ridge Forrester, but Taylor kept the focus on being back for Steffy and the grandkids. Since they had so many milestones and celebrations ahead, Steffy was glad Taylor wouldn't miss any of it. Taylor had a pained expression as she shared her love and gave Steffy a hug. At Forrester Creations, Brooke Logan quizzed Hope Logan to make sure she was keeping her feelings for Finn in check. Hope said Brooke didn't have to keep asking and that there was no reason to worry. Brooke asked if Hope was sure about that, so Ridge walked in and picked up on some tension. Hope downplayed it before they all discussed the news of Taylor's homecoming, which Steffy and her children were thrilled about. At Bill Spencer's mansion, Liam Spencer pushed for love life updates. Liam acknowledged that maybe Poppy Nozawa wasn't the right person for Bill and wondered if Katie Logan knew he wanted to get back together. Bill assumed Liam had been talking to Will Spencer and suggested his youngest son wasn't holding his breath for his parents' reunion. Liam thought Bill was holding his own breath for one, so Bill confessed that he remained hopeful. Next on Wednesday's B&B episode, Will brought Katie breakfast at Forrester Creations, so she hinted that maybe he could get a job there. Will joked that Bill would love that, but Katie just wanted him to know there were more options than Spencer Publications. If Will decided he wanted to work at Forrester, Carter Walton said Will should come see him about it. Once Bill summoned Katie via text, she came to the Spencer mansion and asked what this was about. Bill said Katie should be hopeful and excited about this, but she noticed he seemed a little keyed up. Bill ultimately told Katie that he wanted to talk about the future and about what was ahead for them as a family. Back at Forrester Creations, Steffy stopped by the design office and spoke to Hope about Taylor's return. Once Steffy said she wasn't going to play matchmaker for Ridge and Taylor, she suggested that they could make choices for themselves. Hope pointed out that Ridge already chose Brooke, but Steffy brought up how often Ridge went back and forth. Steffy could see it in Taylor's eyes how much she still loved Ridge, but she reiterated that she wouldn't be matchmaking. Even so, Hope asked if Steffy was saying she'd like to see her parents back together. In the CEO office, Taylor caught up with Ridge, who called her Steffy's guiding star and felt that his ex was back home where she belonged. Taylor wanted to cherish every minute and seemed glum, so Ridge asked what was wrong. Here Taylor said they weren't getting any younger. She added that they didn't know how much time they had left. That's why they had to make the most of it. So Taylor was grateful to be back home with the people she loved and accepted Ridge's embrace. Our predictions hint that Taylor's secret will devastate Ridge sooner or later, so it could lead to a romantic reconnection between them. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Ridge and Brooke's relationship will face some hurdles thanks to Taylor and her grim situation, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates.